Everybody, this is Orange and welcome to my abyss. And today I just want to go over my top favorite manga that I've read over the course of 2022. It's been a fantastic year for manga and I want to talk about them. I want to talk about the manga and a couple comics, I'm sorry I'm like this, that I've read over the course of 2022 that I just want to talk about and share my love for. And the only real rule I'm sticking here is that it has to be manga that I started in 2022. It can't be manga that I read in previous years and finally was able to collect in 2022, like Phantom Thief Jean, which I have out there. I read that years ago, but I finally got in my collection. I can't talk about that. Or it's oh, I can't talk about this manga because it started in 2021. I'm just solely talking about the stuff I read in 2022. Doesn't care what year it came out in, as long as I started reading it within this year. It's fair game for me to talk about. So let's jump into the party. I got a really good selection of books that maybe you'll check out or maybe you've already read. Who knows? It's up to you. And we're starting out with Nicola Traveling Around the Demon's World. This series is complete at 4 volumes and it is super cute, super charming. I love the artwork in it. It's very simplistic and kind of rough, and all the ink within it is brown, which I've seen very few times in actual manga where they change up the inner ink colors, at least for American published manga. I know they do that in magazines, shoujo magazines in Japan especially, but they don't really do that much in America. The only one I can really think of is I think a few printings of Nausicaa had brown ink with them, and I love manga with brown ink. I think it's such a pretty look, and it adds to the chill, good vibes of this series of man and girl traveling around the world, finding a girl's parents. And I love Simon, he is great. This is a fantastic little manga series. It's short, it's cute, it's a good time. I'm a sucker for a demon world. I'm a sucker for a surrogate dad. I'm a sucker for man is girl's dad now. How did that happen? Who knows? But it's a really good fun time, completed 4 volumes, so it's a quick fun read. And beneath that, I have Hinamatsuri Volume 1. What did I just say about the last one? I love man becoming surrogate dad to daughter. And this might be my favorite read in 2022. It has been fantastic. I'm fully caught up with it, with at least what's released in America right now, and I believe we have 2 more volumes until it's fully going to be published. So I believe it's going to be completed in 19 volumes, and there's currently 17 out. But it's a wonderful little series about a Yakuza who, one day, a psychic girl just appears in his house, and oops, he's her dad now! Uh-oh! And it's a wonderful series filled with great characters. It's super funny, super chill. There's a lot of really touching moments in there too. It's just fantastic, and I highly suggest it if you just want a good fun time, a good fun time. And below that, we have Kami-sama Kiss Volume 1. I am really early on in the series right now. I think I've read about 5 volumes through so far, and it's very early. I just woke up one day and I'm I want to read Kami-sama Kiss because I enjoyed the anime, and I'm really enjoying the manga. It's fantastic. It's wonderful. It's about a girl who ends up at a shrine and then stuff happens. And then there's a fox. Is he a fox? Yeah, I think he's a fox. And she just becomes the maiden of a shrine. And there's an angry spirit in there who does what angry spirits do, and then does what angry spirits do in shoujo manga. And oops, there's a romance now. But it's a fantastic series. I love yokai stuff. It's always been a soft spot for me. And it's just so good, so charming, very funny, very cute. Just Kami-sama Kiss, just a little spark of joy at the end of my year of starting a new series. And then below that, we have Queen's Quality Volume 1. You can also include QQ Sweeper in here too. I just grabbed a Queen's Quality because it's the one I have the first volume for, because QQ Sweeper Volume 1 is, not existing anymore. When are you going to reprint that? I have no information. But this is another fantastic series that I'm so glad I started reading this year. Just cleaning up people's brains. It's great. And then stuff happens later on, and ooh, it's so deep. It's so good. I am fully loving this series. It is fantastic. I really wish I started reading it sooner, but, better late than never. But it's just so good, and the artwork is beautiful as well. The artwork's great. I love the themes. I love the characters. I'm going to say it. I love the romance. That barely ever happens. Oh my gosh! But it's fantastic, and I'm having a great time. You can see the reflection of my phone screen in that. Hi me. It goes on forever. And then below that, I guess we're switching gear from that. I would say Queen's Quality has a lot of horror elements in it too. It's fantastic. Read Queen's Quality. But we got PTSD Radio. Fantastic series again. Great horror. It's This is also a plea for me to say once again, please publish Funo Tan, which is this author's other work, which I do like more, but this one still is really good as well. It's a very like interesting story about hair curse, and it's just wonderful, and I can't wait for more volumes to come out in America. I don't know if we're gonna get any more volumes like ever after the ones we have released, because I believe the mangaka quit because the manga cursed him. I don't really know the full of that, but it's still a great time anyway. The horror art is wonderful. I like the quick pacing of it. Typically when it comes to like horror manga stories, I am not a fan if like they're ongoing. I prefer like my horror manga to be like in short stories, because I feel like once it starts going for too long, it's like, okay, where'd the spook go? But with this one, because all the chapters are so short, it's like you move on to the next scare so quick, and it's great, and it's wonderful, and I love it, and I can't wait to get more volumes of this series, because this is only volume 1. Only like 1 volume has been published, and I liked it so much it's on here. Tell me how that happened. But I can't wait for more. And also these are a beautiful like release as well. I don't think you can fully like take in the majesty of like the print quality of this book there, but like everything has a different texture on it on the cover, and I am a sucker for that. I am a sucker for an interesting cover. What can I say? But that's fantastic as well. And below that we got Gangsta Volume 1. Fantastic series. I love it. I love it so much. I love you, Gangsta. I love the artwork in this series. It's so good. It's so juicy. This might be like one of my favorite looking manga. It's just beautiful, wonderful, exquisite. I love how every character's face is drawn. I love an expressive face. Give me more expressive faces. But it's great. It's wonderful. I'm fully caught up with it, and again, this is another manga series where I bring it up every time, or at least in my past manga hauls, that the mangaka behind this series, I believe she got sick, and so she's unable to like make more chapters, which is perfectly fine. Like, your health matters more than a manga. But hopefully one day she'll feel better, and we'll be able to get more of this wonderful little series, because it's fantastic, and I love the characters and our little weirdo found family, our weirdo found family of murderers. We love to see it. We do love to see it. And below that, we have Witch Hat Atelier. Atelier, how do you say it? I am so happy I finally got on the Witch Hat train. It is so good. This might be another one of like legit my favorites from this year. It is just so charming, and the artwork's beautiful, and I love the characters, and I love the setting, and I love it so much, and I love the themes, and the ideas and topics it explores. It is so good. It is so juicy. I love it so much, and I am so excited that it's also getting an anime adaptation so more people can experience it. And I just love the manga too, because again, the artwork is so juicy and it's so good. I'm just gonna keep on repeating myself because it's so charming. If you haven't like got on this train yet, like, what are you doing? It's fantastic. And then underneath that, we got Children of the Whales. Technically, I am breaking a rule here. Years ago, I read the first volume. I owned the first volume of Children of the Whales, but then I like sold it off. And I finally got it back today. But I only read 1 volume, and that was like years ago. It doesn't matter, I never completed it. But I'm finally happy that I like have it back in my collection, and I'm able to like read it again, because I don't know what I was missing the first time, because this series is fantastic. Another series with absolutely like beautiful, stellar, like ethereal artwork. Like, oh my god, it is so pretty to look at. Sometimes I forget to read the manga because I'm too busy looking at the pictures. I don't read the word bubbles. And I have to go back, it's like, oh yeah, there's words in this. But it's so beautiful. I love it so much. And like the story itself, like it goes to so many like wild, good places. And I love the world of this place. I love the characters. It is 10 out of 10. Fantastic good time. I am so excited to like eventually like read more of this, because I am almost caught up with what's out in English, and I am so excited. I love Children of the Whales. And another beautiful cover for this one as well. It has probably can't see it too well. You can kind of see it, but it has some parts of it are reflective or iridescent, shimmery, but it's great. It's beautiful. I love it. It looks so good on my shelf, and it's so good in my brain. And then beneath that, we have The Liminal Zone, which is a Junji Ito short story collection. I love me some Junji Ito. He is my guy. I think I own a majority of his manga. It is fantastic. And he usually gets at least like 2 releases, like 2 to 3 releases like a year. And this was my favorite release we have this year. It's a short stories collection, and I think, like with most short story horror collections, like, stories can range in quality. But when it comes to Junji Ito, like, the artwork is always on point. And I also, like, really love the story of the Weeping Woman Way, I believe it's what it's called. That story has, like, wormed its way into my brain, and I've like, thought about it, like, I think about, like, once a day since, like, I've read this book months ago. And you know it's a good story when that happens. But it's more Junji Ito, and more Junji Ito is good in my book, and it's a good time. I love me some Liminal Zone. And below that, I guess we're kind of out of the manga, but kind of not, because we have Devil's Candy, which is technically, it's an English language manga, so like, but you know, it was good anyway, and I want to talk about it. Currently, it's 2 volumes out right now, and I'm waiting for number 3. I also believe this is published online as well, for free? I believe so, it's on their website, but I like owning a physical book. I love physical books so much, so it's great, and it's just a good, cute time. I thought the series was super cute to read. It's good. The artwork is super fun and charming, and also I am a fan of the characters, and also I am literally a fan of Eddie's setting, where it's just monsters in high school. It's just because I watched Ghoul School at a young and formative age, and it rotted my brain forever. And also because I read the Underburbs at a young and formative age, and it rotted my brain forever. But it's like one of my favorite settings of monster school. Heck yeah! But it's a good time, and I can't wait for more stuff to come out with this because I'm having a blast. And then, final one, it's not even English language manga. It's just a comic. I'm sorry I'm like this, but you have to stay. You've stayed this long. You have to finish me out here with Gris, or Curse of the Chosen, which is a technically 2-volume series because with re-releases, they publish the first 2 books together, and the 3rd book is always published on its own. But I have the first 2 books separate, and oh, it's such a good book. It's such a good print quality. I love this so much. I am bitter that the 3rd book would never get a good hardcover treatment like this. But it is a fantastic series that I am surprised just it has wormed my way. It's wormed its way into my brain. And again, this is another series I think about like once a day. I think about like the artwork, the characters, like the themes, the storytelling. It is a wonderful like little book series that I think more people should read because I adore it. And I think it has plenty of like room for you to like craft your theories and your symbolism. And I've crafted my fair of theories and symbolism. The problem is I don't know anything about tarot cards, and that's a big part of this series. But it's a great series, and I just want to talk about how much this book series has wormed its way into my brain. It is fantastic, just beautiful, stellar artwork, beautiful colors. Like, ooh, it is pretty. It is pretty as heck. It is a good time. So I guess that's all I'm talking about. That's all I'm allowed to talk about before the manga people come and pull me out of my room. So thank you very much for watching. What books did you read over the 2022? Either like books you were continuing on for past years, or ones that you started like this year. It could be anything. Tell me your manga, your comic books, heck, even normal books. Tell me about it. I want to know. So what have you been reading? Do you want to read any things that I have read? Do you want to talk to me about Curse of the Chosen? You should. Thank you very much for watching, and have a lovely night.